Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are hoping to get you some updates as they come in, as Waterbury police again have said multiple people were shot at the mall there in Waterbury. Good evening, I'm Tim Lammers.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. This is a very active scene right now in Waterbury. As you can imagine, lots of police cruisers. For those of you unfamiliar with the area, this is the mall right off I-84. You can see it from the highway. Waterbury police are reporting multiple victims right now, although we don't have a number yet. We've also been told no fatalities.
Yeah, here's a look from the DOT traffic camera. Like Sarah said, this is right close to I-84. That's how we're able to get a vantage point. And we have not seen much change here. You can see flashing lights in a number of different areas right at about that tree line. And this is just outside that big sort of box. That is essentially the main entrance to the mall. It's somewhat smaller than other malls in the area. You're looking at most of the superstructure itself right there.
Yeah, and so far, as I mentioned, no fatalities have been reported, just multiple victims. Now, it's unclear also where in the mall the shooting took place. That's some information that we're hoping to get from the people on scene right now. Officials are putting up a staging area so they can talk to the media, give us all that information so they can answer those questions we have for you, because right now the details are very limited. You're just asked to avoid the area.
Right. That is the big takeaway right now, because that is coming from the mayor's office, it's coming from the police, and now just coming from the Waterbury Fire Department. Of course, if you have loved ones who are there at the mall, we understand that you are concerned. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, so your first instinct might be to go towards the mall to try to find out what happened. But police, all emergency officials are asking you, please don't do that at this point, because it's an active scene. We don't know exactly what that means. We don't know if the shooter, whoever this person was, or it could be multiple people, we don't know if they are still around. We don't have any status with that as of yet. So at this point, for everybody's safety, please stay away.
We want to work in Connecticut. We want the jobs to stay in Connecticut, and that's what we got today.
Well, in other big news here, it is now official. The Pratt Whitney strike is over. After 3 weeks on the picket line, union members will be headed back to work on Thursday.
A new contract was voted on today, and it was approved. Fox 61's Emma Wolforst was there when the vote was tallied and has those details for us.
Members approved this new deal by 74%, with about 1,600 people voting. But some still felt the contract didn't go far enough. There was disappointment and even anger from members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Tuesday.
I think it's trash, absolute trash.
Multiple members walked out of a meeting to vote on a tentative agreement between union leaders and Pratt Whitney.
It looks more they took more things away and just and reshuffled it and handed it back, and they're like, hey, lose 3 weeks of pay for not being in work, and then lose a signing bonus and come back to work. We swear it's a good deal.
More than 3,000 workers represented by IAM, like Kevin Callahan, went on strike 22 days ago after they rejected a new 3-year contract.
I voted to not take the contract. I think that the company could have definitely done more for us. We got a lot of people that are hurting now. Everybody's just trying to make ends meet. But from what they offered us now and what I see the people in there doing, I don't think it was good enough.
Union leaders announced they reached a tentative agreement with the aircraft engine manufacturer last Friday. Workers were striking for higher wages, job security, and better retirement benefits. Leaders say the contract includes significant improvements in all 3 of the workers' main demands. It has a 4% general wage increase immediately, followed by a 3.5% in 2026 and 3% in 2027. And 2028. But members who voted against the deal say their signing bonuses were taken away and believe job security is still not assured.
That job security only extends the length and time of the contract. So in 4 years, guess what you have to do again? You have to argue for job security again. So that's not real job security.
Ultimately, the new contract was approved, and members who voted yes say even though the picket line was strong, the 3-week strike took a toll.
I'll be honest with you, it's a struggle, but at the end of the day, we got our union brothers and sisters. We're making it happen every day. It keeps our spirits up. Our togetherness is what really keeps it going.
Absolutely. I'll be back to work Thursday, happy as I can be.
Union members will return to their jobs this Thursday. Reporting in East Hartford, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61.
Emma, thank you. Well, 4 years ago, New Haven firefighter Ricardo Torres died a hero after he saved 2 people from a burning home.
And now the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health released a report on the main cause of his death and also some safety recommendations to prevent future tragedies.
Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is in New Haven with more.
In 2021, the dangers of firefighting came full circle when New Haven firefighter Ricardo Torres lost his life while on duty. Now the department shares the safety measures they've been taking in the years since.
The life of Ricardo Torres is not a lesson, it's a legacy.
New Haven Fire Chief John Alston is still emotional when he talks about the death of New Haven firefighter Ricardo Torres Jr. In 2021, Torres Jr. died from asphyxiation due to a lack of breathing gas. In a press conference spearheaded by Mayor Justin Elicker and Chief Alston, both addressed the safety measures made in the last 4 years.
Part of honoring firefighter Torres' death as well is by learning from the tragedy and seeing if there are things that we can do better to work hard to make sure that something like this never happens again.
In a 30-page report released by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, it focused on factors that they believe contributed to Torres' death and 9 safety recommendations for risk management.
The challenges were disoriented crews, rapid fire changing conditions, difficult egress and entry on the initial alarm, and delayed Mayday communications.
Alston addressed all the recommendations from NIOSH, but focused primarily on crew integrity, air management and firefighter survival, and the rapid intervention crew, a team that assists in removing down firefighters.
He was in trouble. He was the first person that told us he was in trouble. As it relates to Mayday operations, what the follow-up needs to be is that accountability again on our actions going forward, that we practice more and more the removal of downed firefighters. What we've done now is, since that time, is we've assigned a second truck company to those incidents, and their principal job is to be the rapid intervention crew.
Chief Alston emphasized the sacrifice of firefighter Torres was not in vain.
Every change we've made reflects our unwavering commitment to keep our firefighters in the community and the city of New Haven safe, prepared, and respected. We will never forget, and we will never stop improving.
Chief Alston also said that before the tragedy, a firefighter would need to come out of the building when their oxygen tank hit 25%. But now that new standard is 33%, something they've implemented since Torres' death. In New Haven, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
After a woman was recently injured in an ATV crash in Bristol, police departments are warning people about illegal ATVs.
Yeah, Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has some important reminders from law enforcement.
Chief Edward Stevens says that before you even consider buying an ATV, it's important to know where you buy the vehicle and if you're legally able to ride it where you live.
ATVs are very dangerous. They look like they're cool and they're a lot of fun.
Woolkett Police Chief Edward Stevens is among the many putting out the warning to people about ATV safety. Over the weekend, a woman was seriously injured after being involved in an ATV crash in Bristol. Chief Stevens says his department dealt with a deadly ATV crash involving a teenager just a few years ago.
Where somebody was on property they should not have been on. It was at nighttime. They drove. There was a gate right across, like a big bar that went right across. There was a young kid. He was not 16 yet, and he lost his life.
He says as the weather warms up, more people will be buying ATVs and attempting to ride them around the state. Chief Stevens says some people in the area tried to ride their ATVs at Thomaston Dam in Plymouth. The area is a hot spot for dirt bike and trail bike riding. However, Thomaston Dam does not allow any 3- or 4-wheel vehicles.
A lot of times they're not familiar with the area they're riding them in because they don't belong there. And you have a lot of crashes because of that.
Chief Stevens says riding ATVs on public streets or highways is not only incredibly dangerous, but also illegal.
They're not allowed to be on the road because they don't have the safety equipment. They don't have direction lights. A lot of them don't have headlights. They don't have seatbelts.
In Connecticut, there are no public managed areas specifically designated for ATV riding. Getting caught illegally riding an ATV could result in a hefty ticket and getting your ATV taken away. So Chief Stevens says it's important to plan ahead when buying one or even considering buying one.
The easiest thing is if you're going to buy your child, or if you're an adult you're going to buy one, make sure you have a legal place that you can ride that on, that you can familiarize yourself with.
When legally operating an ATV, officials encourage both drivers and passengers to wear protective gear like helmets and gloves. It can make a life-saving difference when riding. In Wolcott, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Willimantic police said they're looking for the driver of a pickup truck that crashed into a moped and seriously injured the person who was on that moped. They said it happened just before 9:15 last night at the intersection of Ash and North Streets. They said the truck driver didn't stop after the collision. Police said the person on the moped had to be flown to Hartford Hospital and is in critical condition tonight. So help police out. If you know anything or you saw anything, please call the Willimantic PD.
Well, the case of a Waterberry woman accused of holding her stepson captive for more than 20 years has been continued until July. Kimberly Sullivan's lawyer appeared in court today on her behalf. Last month, Iona's Colloidis filed motions to remove Sullivan's GPS monitor, return her cell phone, and lift restrictions so she can get back into her home. Fox 61 caught up with Colloidis after court to tell us where things stand in the case.
On the discovery stage, we are still waiting for more information to be provided. We've gotten some initial reports, initial video. We do believe there's some additional video and records that we're waiting for.
He also told us Sullivan is stressed but hanging in there. Sullivan has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including assault, kidnapping, and cruelty. She's due back in court July 2nd. Meanwhile, the stepson, who goes by the name S in this case, is still recovering. Officials say they found him emaciated in February. He said he intentionally set the home on fire to get his freedom.
Well, in court today, a West Haven man pleaded not guilty to a charge of attempted arson. Police said he tried to burn down the house where his dead mother was found. Police arrested 27-year-old Theodore Lloyd last month. They said his mother Tina was found dismembered and that her remains had been left in that house for as long as 2 months. Lloyd is not currently facing any charges in her death, but police did say he will face more charges of some kind at some point in the future. Now, Lloyd's aunt, Debbie Hart, was also in the courtroom today. She told Fox 61 that she was close with her late sister.
You know, she was enjoying her life. She loved her life. We always shared birthdays. I'm on the 14th and she's on the 20th. And we would make themes and do all kinds of stuff like that. So she was happy. She was enjoying herself. That's why this was so horrific to the family.
Lloyd's next scheduled court appearance is on July 31st.